Hey everyone. So I hope all of you are doing good. So guys, we were doing the decision making, or I can say the marginal costing, and till now we have done we have completed the break even point, indifference point. And if I speak about the spatial techniques of the decision making, there were six techniques, and out of those six techniques, we have done two techniques. So basically, we have done the spatial order decision, like how we should take any decision when we receive any spatial order, and the second one is optimum product mix decision. And in last lecture we solved one very, I can say, decent example related to optimum product mix as well, where we have done the where we have basically used the linear programming, linear equation to solve the question. So I hope you got that solution. Definitely, for any doubt, just let me know. So now, what basically we are going to do now further. So basically, four spatial things, spatial, I can say, spatial techniques related to the decision making are pending. The first one I can say is outsourcing decision, which I could also say the make and buy decision. The second one is sale or further processing decision. So what basically sale and further processing, whether we should sell the product now or we should process it further. And probably I gave you the example of milk and paneer, like how we should sell it as milk we should sell the milk, or we should further process it, make it paneer, curd, or anything else, and we should sell after processing. Then the decision can be minimum pricing decision. The decision can be keep and drop decision. So these four spatial techniques, or I can say spatial type of decisions, are pending. So what we are going to start today, basically we are going to start with the outsourcing decision, which we also can say the make or buy decision. So what basically outsourcing decision is, or make or buy decision is, and why one person should even think that whether we should make the product or we should outsource the product, why we should even think this. So what basically the outsourcing decision is. So basically, you guys, I hope you guys know that what happens in any business, that all the products, all the components which is required for making any specific product is not made in house. Okay. Some of the products are made in house, some of the products are outsourced, some of the products are made by some other companies. We buy the that particular product from some other company. Like if I give you an example, let's take the example of bicycle. So what we used to do in case of bicycle, the complete bicycle is not made by some particular company. Like if I talk about the Atlas do not make the complete bicycle. What it used to do, it used to make a bicycle by clubbing all the products. But what used to happen, the tires used to be made by some other company, I can say Ralco, or there are some many other companies as well. The bicycle chain is made by some other company, and all these products, like products, different products are made by different companies. And what Atlas used to do, Atlas used to club the product and make the bicycle. But suppose one day that the MD, or I can say CFO of Ralco thinks, oh sorry, Atlas thinks that making the bicycle chain could be even profitable rather than ordering it from some other company. Like what Ralco till now was doing, Ralco used to buy the sorry, not Ralco, I'm confusing them. So what Atlas used to do till now, Atlas used to buy the chain from some other company, but now what they are planning to make the chain in house. They are planning to make the chain in house. Now it can be a good decision, but why we are thinking that making should be profitable, or even outsourcing should be profitable? Because for make some product, you do not only require the labor, material, or I can say all these things. There are certain more hurdles. Like first thing can be the quality thing. Okay, a company which has the business of making the bicycle chain, probably you cannot produce the quality like that company, because that company has their own quality standard. They basically check their product on all the standards. If their product fit all those standards, then they proceed ahead with the product. So this type of things, would be there. Now if you will, if I can say Atlas is thinking about making the bicycle chain in house, they will probably try to somewhere may match the quality standards of that company. But let's keep the quality things aside, because we do not consider the quality things while we are making any decision related basically when in the I can say bookish knowledge, or I can say in for the exam, we do not consider the quality definitely is considered when we are doing the things practically, but not here. Okay, but I have told you one thing. If any sort of theoretical question is asked, you can write definitely quality. Now what other things could be there which is basically making an hurdle for the company at last making the bicycle chain? So I can say, for making any uh, specific product, you require the fixed machinery, fixed cost. Probably you do not have that machinery to make the bicycle chain, but that other company has that machinery. Now if you buy that machinery, that might cost you more. Okay, that may be a thing, that buying a machinery can be more costly for you than purchasing the chain from outside. That can be a thing. Now for that purpose, you require some sort of spatially trained labors. Okay, even after that, since that company, that other company is making the product in a bulk, they might be getting lesser variable cost, because I hope you guys know, as the production increases, somewhere we got the specialization, and variable cost decreases, and definitely fixed cost per unit definitely decreases. But since we do not consider the fixed cost, irrelevant fixed cost, I would say, for the purpose of decision making, which is also called the sunk cost. We have also already discussed this thing, what sunk cost basically is. So we basically do not take into consideration sunk cost, or I can say irrelevant fixed cost. We do not think about that. So I have told you all the things, what can be possible hurdles for a company to make a product, rather than, and it could be beneficial to outsource some product. But still, making still can be somewhere profitable, somewhere beneficial, because the other company keeps their profit margin while selling the product. So that is one thing. The second thing can be that you can somewhere produce the product as per your specification, whatever we want. We basically do not need to abide with some other kind of things, some other the product of some other company. We can get a flexibility in the production. Definitely we won't consider the flexibility thing. But why I am saying flexibility, because suppose if I start producing something in house, then in that case, I don't need to keep the stock. Probably if my turnout time of, or I can say making time of a bicycle chain is very less, I don't need to keep the stock of bicycle chain. That might be a thing. So there are pros, there are cons of any specific thing. If I go ahead with something, I might have some of the pros, I might have some of the cons as well. So these type of things would be there. So what we basically will do while making any decision, whether we should make the product or we should outsource the product, or I can say we should make the product, we should buy the product. What basically we will do, we will we'll see whether we are able to save more or less. Suppose that while buying the product, while outsourcing the product, we are having the contribution, or I can say the profit, we are having a contribution of profit of 100 rupees, suppose. And after manufacturing the product in house, we are having a profit or contribution of 130 rupees. What would be our decision? Definitely my decision would be to make the product in house, because I am getting additional contribution of 30 rupees. But instead of having 30 rupee profit, I'm having 10 rupees loss. Suppose that outsourcing. By outsourcing some of the product, I am able to get 100 rupees. And if I started making the product in-house, due to different factors which I told you, I am having the profit of 90 rupees only. In that case, what would be my decision? My decision would definitely be to continue my earlier process, or I can say continue outsourcing the product. So these type of things would be there. Now, so I have basically discussed you what basically outsourcing decision is, what kind of decision, what kind of things could be there. If I say more specifically, what basically pushes you to go for outsourcing, and what basically pushes you to go to make the product basically. Okay, so we have discussed all the things. So now let's come to question. Let's discuss the things by questions. So let's take first one question from CA final study material. As I told you, we'll do question from CA as well as CMA final study material both. So this is the outsourcing decision. Okay, so question number 5 is there. Let's read the question. After doing question from CA final, we'll do one question from CMA final study material as well. And with this, the outsourcing decision would be, or I can say make and buy decision would be, closed. And I have told you one more thing that, I have repeatedly told you the thing, but again, what we are basically going to do, we'll discuss the questions from CA as well as CMA final study material, and all the question which is there in CA final under, test your knowledge section. That would be your homework. And all the questions which are there in, CMA final study material will solve most of the questions, and some of the question would be given as homework. So let's come to illustration 5. DBA manufactures and sells 25,000 table fans annually. Okay, one of the component required for fan is purchased from an outside supplier at a price of 190. So basically, one component is purchased at the rate of 190 rupees. Annually, it is purchasing 25,000 components for its uses. Okay, the production manager is of the opinion that if all the components are produced at own plant, it is possible to maintain better quality in the finished product. Okay. Further, he proposed that in-house production of the component with other item will provide more flexibility to increase the annual production by another 5,000 units. So if we are able to produce the product in-house, we will be able to produce 5,000 more units of table fans. This is given. He estimated the cost of making the component as follows. So basically, we were earlier purchasing the component at the rate 190, but now the production manager proposed that we should make it rather than buying it. So he told that the following are the costs related to the component. Okay. So basically, we are given the material cost, the direct labor cost, the factory overhead, and 70% variable. Basically, out of the 40 rupees, 70% is variable and balance 30% is fixed. And total cost is given to us. Okay. So what basically fixed cost is? Fixed cost is, I can say 30% of 40, which is 12 rupees. So it can be said as apportioned cost. Okay. So what is basically a portion cost? Suppose the fixed machinery cost, I can say depreciation cost of any machinery is 5 lakh, 5 lakh rupee per year. Okay, so this was the depreciation cost of the machinery. Now, since we are manufacturing this product as well on that machinery, we are portioning that 5 lakh not only in other products but in this product as well. So basically, if you see that a portion cost is a sunk cost, it is not changing with your production, fluctuation, whether you increase the production or reduce the production, this cost would not change. Okay, so this would be a sunk cost. So the proposal of the production manager was referred by marketing manager for his remarks. He pointed out that to market the additional 5,000 units, which would be manufactured, the overall unit price should be reduced by 5%. Overall unit price should be reduced by 5%, and additionally, 1 lakh per month should be incurred for advertising. The present selling price and contribution of the fan is 2500 and 600 respectively. No other increase or decrease in all other expenses as a result of the proposal will arise. Okay. So the marketing manager told us that if you accept making the component, if you make the component rather than buy it, there would be certain changes like uh, 5% selling price would be reduced and you would incur additional 1 lakh rupee per month for advertisement. Okay, so what now question is asking, since making cost of component is more than the buying cost, management asks you to analyze the make or buy decision on unit basis and on total basis. Recommend the most profitable alternative. So let's go. Let's find out. Just a second. So this is question number 5. Question number 5 from CA Finance. It is related to outsourcing. So, um, so what was the things earlier? Uh, Not like this. What is the data given to us? Just a second. Let me note down the data first. So, component cost. I can say direct material cost. Direct material. The second thing is labor. Direct labor and variable overhead and fixed overhead. So basically direct material cost is given to us 80 rupees. Labor cost is given 75. Variable cost is 28 and fixed cost is 12. But fixed cost would be sunk cost. So we would not consider this cost for the purpose of decision making. Okay, so basically relevant cost of making component. It would not be relevant cost. So 80, 75, 155 and 183. So relevant cost of making the component would be this plus this plus this. It would be 183 rupees. Okay, now the other things. For bicycle, I can say, I'm just noting down the data first. Okay, so earlier and new. For bicycle, what I'm saying that the sale price of bicycle earlier was I can say 2500, which is given to us, and contribution was 600. But now what would be the things? Now what would be the things? We are saying that sale price would be reduced by 5%. So I can say 5% reduction. So 95% of 2500, how much it would be? it would be 2375 and contribution. So we need to calculate the contribution. Why I'm saying that we need to calculate the contribution? If you see, if we are making the component in house, we are having the cost, relevant cost of 183. Okay, and since we are having the relevant cost of 183 and we are having the cost of buying the component 190, so I can say in this 600 the 190 is included. So let's find out basically the third data. um, the third data would be uh, you know the relevant cost of basically the contribution of bicycle contribution, not bicycle, uh, it's table fan, sorry, since I took the example of bicycle. So contribution of table fan with new scheme. Note one. Note one. So I can say earlier contribution. It was 600 rupees cost of buying the component. It was 190 rupees. You know, earlier what we were doing, we were buying the component, and after reduction of 190 rupees, we were having the contribution. We were having the contribution since it is given that the 600 is amount of contribution. Okay, and how the contribution is calculated, you guys know that how contribution is calculated. Contribution is calculated after reducing all the variable costs, and 190 is also the variable cost. Okay, so we are adding back the 190 rupees since because we are making the product now, we are not buying it, so we are not basically considering the cost of buying the material, we are making. So now cost of making, I would say relevant cost, it would be 183 rupees. 183 rupees would be the relevant cost of making the component. Okay, there would be one more thing, reduction in contribution due to extra component. So basically it is given that since we are manufacturing the extra components, we need to reduce our selling price. When we'll reduce our selling price, definitely the contribution would be reduced by the same amount because it is not changing my variable cost. Since it is not changing my variable cost, and other than 183 and 190, no other relevant costs are changing. So basically, since we are reducing the selling price, its direct impact would be on our contribution. Its direct impact would be on our contribution. So basically by 125, my contribution would be reduced. So I hope you guys are getting this thing. New contribution. How much it would be? So 600 plus 190 minus 183 plus 125, sorry, not plus, minus 125, it would be 482. So from here I can write that the contribution would be 482. So basically what we are saying, that due to new scheme, my contribution is reducing by I can say 118 rupees. So basically what the question now, since we have noted down all the data related to question, what basically question is asking, analyze the make or buy decision on unit basis and total basis. So the first thing, analysis of make and buy decision. Now how many options we are having? How many options we are having? If you see, we are having three options. Okay, what is basically first option? Outsource component. Okay, so option one is outsource the component. The option two is make and sell 25,000. If I'll make and sell 25,000, I do not need to reduce. I do not, again, I'm saying, I do not need to reduce my, I can say, selling price. Okay. Why I'm basically reducing my selling price? I'm reducing my selling price just to sell another 5,000 units. Okay. And these 5%, this 5% is basically reduced on an overall basis. So basically, option three is make and sell 30,000. So I'm having these three options. The first option is outsource the component. The second option is make and sell 25,000. So basically I have the potential to make additional 5,000. I have the potential to make 30,000. But if I'll make 30,000 to sell, if I make the 30,000, definitely I need to sell 30,000, because all the another 5,000 you cannot keep it in the go down like without any use. If you're making it, definitely you are incurring the variable cost and other costs. So basically you have to sell the product. You cannot always keep the product. So what you can do, you can either make 25,000 and sell 25,000, or you can make 30,000 and sell 30,000. If you will make and sell 25,000, you do not need to reduce 5%, and you do not need to incur additional advertisement cost, because the additional advertisement cost you are incurring just for the purpose of selling additional 5,000 units. It is specifically given in your question. Now, since you are not making and selling additional 5,000, since you are making the 25,000 units only, what you just need to do, you'll make the component, you'll make 25,000 units of the bicycle and sell 25,000. Now, basically, if I uh, compare all these three options, just a second. So, contribution. Let's write sales first. The complete data which is given to us. Sale per unit, sale price, even I would say, sale price per unit. So sale price per unit in this case would be 2,500. In this case as well, 2,500. And this case, we have computed it 2,375. Total sale price. What would be total sale price? 2,500 multiplied by, I hope it is 2,500, right? Just a second. Yes, 2,500 and 600. Okay. So 2,500 multiplied by 25,000, right? Yes, 25,000. So it would be 625, 25, 25, 625. 625 000000. So basically the sale price in the old scheme, or I can say if I continue outsourcing it, it would be 6 crore 25 lakhs. In this case, what would be the sale price? There would not be any effect on the sale price. 25,000 multiplied by 2,500, or I would say 6 crore 25 lakh. And in this case, what would be the sale price? It would be 2375 multiplied by 30,000. 2375 multiplied by 30,000. It would be 7 crore 12 lakh 50,000. So I can definitely say one thing, that if I will make and sell 30,000, my revenue would be increased. Revenue means sale. Okay, revenue don't compare revenue with contribution or profit. Revenue means sale. Now contribution per unit. In this case, it is given, it is 600. Contribution per unit is 600. In this case, we have computed it is 482. And in this case, what would be the contribution? Let me calculate it here. Earlier, the contribution was 600. I'll add basically 190 rupees. Okay. Why I'm adding 190? Because if I'll make the component in-house, I'm basically, the second option is make and sell 25. If I'll make it in-house, I'll basically save 190 rupees, which is basically the cost of buying the product, and I'll incur the cost of 183, which is basically the cost of manufacturing the product. So my contribution would be 607. Okay, so total contribution, it would be 25,000 multiplied by 600. 25,000 multiplied by 607, and 30,000 multiplied by 482. Compute it. 25,000 multiplied by 600, it would be 1 crore 50 lakh. 1 crore 50 lakh. In the second option, it would be 25,000 multiplied by 607. 1 crore 51 lakh 75,000. And in this option, it would be 482 multiplied by 30,000. It would be 1 crore 44 lakh 60,000. And there would be one more cost, advertising. Advertisement. So there would not be any advertisement cost. In this case as well, there would not be any advertisement cost, because advertisement cost we are incurring to sell additional 5,000 units. Okay, and here we are selling only 25,000. Now in this option, the advertisement cost would be there. It would be 12 lakh rupees. So basically 1 lakh rupee per month. So 12 lakh rupee per year. So I can say net contribution. I'm not considering sunk cost. I have not basically considered sunk cost till now, because the data of fixed cost is not given to us. But even if it is given to us, the fixed cost would be same in all the cases, since we are not given that and that any additional machinery is used to make the component, whatever the component we are making. It's not said that we are using some of the additional machinery for that purpose. So since this data is not given to us, we will basically consider that the old machinery is used for making the component as well, and all the previous fixed costs would be continuously occur. So the fixed cost would be same in all these three cases. So net contribution would be 1 crore 50 lakh, 1 crore 51 lakh 75,000, and in this case I can say 1 crore 44 lakh minus 12 lakh. So I can say 1 crore 32 lakh 60,000. 1 crore 32 lakh 60,000. Now, this one is the best option. we can easily say this, that what is the best option? The best option is to make the component in-house and make 25,000 units as well. Why? Because basically we are getting an additional contribution of 1,75,000 in making the component in-house. So what is the question asking us? The question is asking, analyze the make and buy decision on unit basis and total basis, and recommend the most profitable alternative. So we have analyzed this situation on unit basis and total basis and recommendation. Since we are getting maximum contribution in option 2, the best option would be to make component in-house and sell 25,000 units of fans. Answer. So this is the answer. Sorry, just a second. Let me write it once again first. Best option would be to make 25,000 units of fan along with component in-house. So this is the answer. I hope you got the solution. This was definitely a good question because we have discussed the the outsourcing and make and buy in detail with this question. Sorry. So we have done one question related to make and buy decision, or I can say outsourcing decision. Now, what we will do in next lecture, we'll solve one more question related to outsourcing decision or make and buy decision. And with this, the outsourcing decision will also be over. Now, after that, the three situations, the three, I can say, techniques of the decision making, or I can say three situations where we can make the decision would be left, like sell or further processing decision, keep and drop decision, pricing decision. So these three would be left. So I hope you got this thing. In next lecture, we will do one more question related to make and buy from CMA final study material. And with this topic would be over. So this is all from my side for the day. Have a very nice day. Bye-bye.